I haven't even played the new game mode, by the way, so I have no idea what's even going on with it.
It's apparently if you when whatever operator you play during a round that you win, either that you win or the enemy team wins, that operator you picked is now banned.
Not exactly.
Really?
So how it works is, whatever. So let's say I play Ash or whoever. Somebody plays Ash, and they win. We win this round basically. Those ops are banned, and the defense still keeps their ops.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool.
Hey, tell Trix to send his GT that I messaged him in DMs. His gamer tag. Infamous needs to reply. At least. So we're only looking at 2, maybe 3 people if
All right. Cool.
But I have other stuff planned. I still have 2 other segments.
Yeah. No, this is, and so who did you contacted Infamous, right? And then that's how we got this whole thing rolling.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Basically, I told them, I'm not gonna let another opportunity, because I've had this idea for a while. I was at a different league, and I wasn't gonna let this opportunity pass up again. And if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be me.
Yeah. No, seriously. No, you're taking it serious, which is awesome.
Confidence. Yeah.
It's cool. It could only get bigger from here anyway, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure. Alright.
10 seconds before insertion.
Alright. Welcome everyone to the Breach and Cleared podcast. Just gonna be chilling out, asking some of our competitors some questions while we play the new game mode. Apparently, do you want to explain the game mode for us again, Outdated? Because I
Basically how it works is, whatever ops that you play, regardless. So if you're defending, let's say you lose, you still keep your operator. But whatever ops you win with, those ops get banned.
Gotcha. Alright, so we have our first guest tonight. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us your team and what division you're in?
Oh yeah, so my name is Dax. I represent Team Persistence. I play for Team Persistence. I'm the head IGL. We're in the Delta division, I believe it's called. And so far we're doing good this season. We're keeping up with everybody else, so I'm happy to be here. Appreciate having me on.
Yeah, no problem. So, in the few weeks that you guys have been competing, what would you say has been the most difficult thing right off the bat?
The most difficult thing, I think, executing our attacks have been quite irritating at sometimes. Just a lot of misinformation. Sometimes our callouts can be poor, or just sometimes we're misdroning. But I think they're just simple flaws that we need to work on as a team. But besides that, I think we've been all right. We've definitely been, we go over our strats, definitely. We also go over the VODs, the games that we've played. And we always try to see if we can fix the mistakes that we made prior so we don't do them again. I definitely say it's communication on attack is definitely, I think, our weak side.
Yeah, that can be difficult for especially a lot of new teams as well.
We need to locate a bomb.
I think, but once you can work through getting more concise callouts out to your team, it really does help a lot, especially when you're on maps that are quite closed in and you can get pushed from any corner while you're attacking. If you can work through getting those callouts just out and correctly, your team's gonna see a lot more success instantly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah. So we our team, we generally have we call them drone routes, where we always have our 2 support players droning us in. They'll have pre-planted drones, depending on obviously where we're pushing. But sometimes what happens is somebody will either just it happens from playing a lot. You'll get mental fatigue and you just won't pre-plant your drone in the same spot. And so then you just start droning something out that you normally don't, and that's how you tend to have a communication issue. Or just sometimes someone makes the wrong call, which can happen when there's a lot going on.
Yeah. Would you like to add anything to that, Outdated? Do you have any personal experience with doing that type of call-outs out?
Well, I've casted a few of their games and I've played with them myself. They're probably, I guess, one of the better teams with working on callouts. They have very good communication. Depending on the round, they always know where each other's gonna be. They just like work together very well.
Yeah, we definitely saw it when the game that I had cast and viewed. It was on console actually, and they once they figured out the first couple rounds of what defense was doing, they definitely got a lot more aggressive, and were able to pinch off the roamers a lot faster.
Yeah, so yeah, like yet again, like our team, like Team Persistence, we're like a very formatted team. You know, we're not. I wouldn't say we're really aggro. We kind of play at our own pace, and that's how we try to make the game as well. We don't try to format or conform to the other team. We kind of just do our own thing, and we remain to our format. We kind of stick to the script, and that's really what just plays out throughout the round. And we really stick to it though.
Yeah. When you decided to join this league, is this the first time you've joined this league?
No, so we actually joined it last season as well. Sadly, we didn't make it to finals. We made it to semifinals, and sadly we lost to, I believe it's Infamous Tonight. It's the parent, or I believe it's the sister team to the overall Infamous League, I believe. I don't know how to properly say that, but I guess it's the team that's sponsored by Infamous League. They wound up beating us, and I believe it's the same exact roster as well from last season. I could be wrong though, but yeah, we did make it to semifinals last season.
Yeah, that's definitely very big accomplishment to get into the finals, because some teams are really taking this really seriously, and when people have, I always say when people have the conviction to win and they'll do anything that it takes, those teams are honestly the most successful. People who just know what they need to do to win, put their differences aside, and they get stuff done.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think a huge factor that plays into teams taking it seriously is you have to have players who don't have egos. You know, people who think they're better than others, or people who think that they're better than their own players on their own team. That can be like a huge downfall to the overall team success. Like people being able to own up to their own mistakes, accepting the mistakes that they make, and then talking about their how they messed up and what they can do to improve as a player and as well as a team. I mean, that's what will definitely get you to the finish line at the end of the season. But absolutely, you're definitely right. Though people are definitely taking this season as well as the prior season extremely serious. I mean, when there's money on the line, and I know every season so far, I think it's increased by quite a bit because the overall league's grown a lot. But yeah, it's definitely gotten more competitive.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you on that.
Also, I add on that when you like knowing how to like not having an ego, toxicity is also a big factor into that as well. Because like if you're toxic towards your teammates, then not many people are gonna want to like stick around, and they'll eventually just end up disbanding.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Toxicity is horrible, especially sometimes you have teammates who actually die, and instead of giving the call, they'll actually complain about their death. And I understand maybe in rank it can be frustrating if somebody wide swings you don't expect, or maybe it was a play that really didn't make much sense, but somebody did it and they killed you. Just give a call out. It's simple. I mean, when you're screaming and yelling or you're just frustrated, it can also mess up the team's vibes, like your own team's vibes, and make you play poorly as well as a player. So definitely not being toxic is definitely the way to go. And if people are toxic on your team, either have them change or you're gonna have to just replace them. It's as simple as that.
The mission is to locate and defuse a bomb.
Yeah, alright, so the last thing I have for you is when it comes down to these weeks that are getting closer and closer to playoffs, is there any team you think that actually poses somewhat of a danger to your team's place right now?
So I definitely think what's going to be a challenge is us versus ZH22 Delaware and the Infamous team. Both of them have shown great success so far this season. And also, actually, Dark Vortex so far has been a great team. I think they're flawless right now as well this season. They haven't lost a single game. They're showing extreme strength as well. I honestly think all those teams that I just mentioned, I wouldn't necessarily pose a threat, but they definitely pose a great challenge for us to, when we face them, or depending on which one we verse. But in my opinion, if I was to make a call, I would like to see DV versus Team Persistence. Because we are great friends with DV, and I think that would be an epic clash against both teams since we're all friends.
Definitely. I'm in sight, by the way.
Gotcha.
But all right. Well, Dex, I'm gonna thank you for coming on. If you'd like to stay on, honestly, and just be another co-host for the rest of the session.
Absolutely.
Yeah, your team's just been very interesting to watch and see you move up in the ranks quickly.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I hopefully you guys can continue this podcast, and hopefully we get more people to watch and come on as well. I mean, it's an awesome thing that we got going on here, and as well as Infamously, like I said, it's growing, it's getting bigger, and people are actually taking this serious. Some may think take this as a joke or take it lightheartedly, but honestly, like this is becoming a bigger thing, and every season, like I said, it's been growing. So if the overall league can grow, so can this podcast. I have full faith in it as well.
Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to be inviting our next guest here. Let me get his gamer tag pulled up. How are people doing in the chat? Once again, please go to the podcast chat underneath the BNC podcast tab if you have any other questions for our next guest.
Yeah, one thing that I would like to know though is if any other teams are actually watching VODs and like the overall seriousness, because I know a lot of the top teams, you can tell they're definitely getting serious, but the teams that are like lower, maybe I'd say like 3 or 4 in the bracket, or maybe even like 2 or 3, I wonder how serious they're taking it. Because people can definitely make a comeback. I know a lot of people feel like they're lost or they can't make a comeback, but I definitely think it's possible for some teams if they put in the work.
Jitson, welcome on to the podcast. Can you tell everyone what is your team? What is your team name, and what division are you in?
I'm the captain for Mystic Mayhem, and we're in the Delta Division.
Delta. Okay. So how I want to ask you how has it been so far? Is this your tell me about what you've been doing? Is this your first league that you've been in? And if not, what kind of are some of the struggles you've been working through?
I wouldn't say it's the first league we've been in, but I think we've been playing COM for about, I'd say like 2.5 months maybe, so not very long. We're fairly new, I guess you could say. We joined, I guess you could say halfway into the season of Infamous. I think a team dropped out, so we got their spot. We've only played 2 games so far, but I'd say so far it's pretty obvious that I feel like most of the teams here, or the majority of the teams in the league, in this league in particular, they're very prepared. I'd say they take it pretty serious. So the competition it can be tough if you're not ready for it. But I think after these past 2 games, I wouldn't say that we were really prepared. So I think next game we really have something to prove. We got some things we're gonna pull out that I think could really get us the win.
So, when is your next game scheduled? Like, who are you playing in the league?
I believe our next game we play. Let me check that actually. We just played Pure Voltage, so I believe that next we play Extraterrestrial, and it hasn't been scheduled yet. I don't think the match chat is created.
Okay. What place are you in for your division?
We're currently 7th in our division, I believe.
7th. Yeah, my team was 7th last season, so nothing too frustrated about it. Because like Dex was saying, it's definitely possible to make a comeback. And ET has been having some trouble as well, so it'd be interesting to see who's more willing to come out on top against them.
Yeah, definitely.
You okay there, Outdated? Did you
No, I'm chilling.
need a hand over there?
On yellow. Yeah, but so. What do you think some of your weaknesses and strengths are of your team?
I would say I think we're really good with the roam clear. I feel like that's one of our big strengths. We're really good at roam clearing quickly and we get a lot of map control fairly quickly. I think one of the weeknesses we've really been working on is winning our ones. I think that's one of the things that we've really been working on. Because it's not that we're getting outplayed or anything. We get map control fairly easily. I think it's just winning the ones that we have to work on. And I feel like if we get that down pat, we'll be a pretty strong team.
What's something that you like to do to help practice win your one? I know running T-Hunt is what most people would recommend. Do you scrim a lot of teams? Do you just run strats, dry runs? What do you do?
Yeah, recently we've been coming up with a lot of strats. We try to come up with some things that are not the usual, something that's kind of not been done before, something really weird, because I feel like with things like that, if other teams look at it, they're gonna not know how to attack it because it's not something that's usually brought out, I guess you could say. And for winning the ones, we try to scrim as much as possible and focus on just winning those gunfights, the ones in particular. We try to do at least 2 scrims a day most of the time.
Can you describe a strat that you might have for, say, for defense that that you think is unique to your team, and tell us how the intricacies of that work.
Yeah, for sure. So, on we have a strat on. Well, actually, I don't know if I want to say that. I don't know if I actually want to say that. I think it'd be better
You don't want to give
for
away
it
your
to be
reveal
secrets.
seen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
I
reveal
think
the
it'd be better
secrets.
just for it to be seen.
I mean,
if you
I
tune
don't
in
know
next
if it'd
week
be too
or
harmful
in the
if
next
you're,
game, I think if you tune in next game, it'd be pretty interesting to see. So next week.
Under wraps for us.
Down to
Alright.
10
I
seconds.
can respect it because me as a coach, I playing this game 5 years now. I am definitely, I think I'm pretty decent, but
Keep an eye out for Op 4
my
attempting to
forte
defuse
is
your bomb.
making strats and knowing how the other team works. Number one thing that I incorporate into my strats is the psychology of players.
Yeah.
Knowing how people are going to think, when they're thinking it, and incorporating that with my strats is basically what I'm good at.
Yeah, okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
another thing
definitely trying to
I
think
think-
other thing. Sorry, go
Yeah,
on.
another thing I think would be what I'd like to point out is counter stratting. I feel like that's a really big part of the game that a lot of teams don't really incorporate. Is after their strats broken down, they don't really know, like what to do next or like how to
Yeah.
counter strat something. So
Yeah. So you say you're the captain, or did you like found the team? Like you made the team?
no, I didn't found the team. The actual team is called
One Op 4
it's just
remaining.
Team Mystic. It's actually the org. It's more spread out across a wide number of games. Particularly, I feel like one of our most successful teams is probably our Apex teams. They've beaten teams like FaZe, Oxygen, ATC. I'm just the captain of the R6 team in general. I didn't found the team though.
Friendly's victorious.
If
Hostiles eliminated.
you have anything to ask us, feel free. But I think you definitely provide some good insight into the teams that are still trying to make their way up the ladder.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really have much else to say, but I hope the podcast, for the rest of the podcast at least, goes well. And it was fun. Enjoyed it.
Thank you. All right, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so that was my other guest, Jitson. We want to thank him and wish his team the best of luck in his upcoming game. Maybe one of us will cast it. Who knows? I mean, definitely
Wouldn't
pretty
surprise
interesting to
me.
see considering- Yeah, once again, they're both two teams that are trying to get back up there and earn a more respectable place. All right. Can we get Trix in here? Is Trix available?
Don't know if tricks.
It'd be nice to get
don't know
tricks
if
in here. It'd be
tricks
nice to get
is
tricks in here. Be nice.
on.
We
Tricks just
talked to him earlier. Ah, I see him. I got him.
got him.
All right,
Got him.
cool. Yep, he just messaged me.
Awesome.
I hope everyone who has stopped by is enjoying so far. Please invite some more people to watch. Like I said, you can ask any question you want in our podcast chat, and we will throw it at our guests or our hosts. We definitely got a lot more eventful segments coming up, but we're just trying to keep it simple, keep it chill for our first episode. And don't worry, it's gonna get a lot more interactive as we go on.
Might get heated in a second.
Why do you say that?
So, I don't know if Dex mentioned this, but Team Persistence used to be under Infamous before they came and joined me. So,
Yep.
sparks might fly in this next one.
We got some drama brewing. Drama alert.
I don't know.
Yeah, it actually kind of sucked. We wound up also dropping out. One of the reasons, I'll just say one of the reasons that we dropped out is we wound up having to drop one of our fifths, one of our players, just due to just toxicity and overall like their own performance as the team. They were just they seemed to like weigh down the team and we didn't want to
Gotcha.
consistently
Sometimes-
have to pick up sub. And
Sometimes that
because we're representing Infamous, we just don't want to make them look bad. So that's why we had to drop out, sadly.
Yeah, just like I've noticed that there's a trend about that too. That there's a lot of teams with World at the end, and Infamous World is one of them. Do you know why that is?
Yeah. I honestly don't. I mean, I think a really tough thing it is though is like just trying to have consistent players. I know the reason why people have a lot of subs is people just their schedule is so horrible they can't make it to all the matches. So I understand why they have subs, but I mean just trying to get that good because honestly, man, at the end of the day, you really have to have a solid 5 stack that everybody knows all the strats because you can't have 9 people know every strat.
Okay.
It just takes too much time.
Unrolling razor wire.
The L.
But you're definitely alright though. There are definitely a lot of world players.
Op 4 located a bomb. Protect it.
I think I might change my team name to Dual X World. Just saying.
Actually, I think we're versing your team this upcoming week. If I'm not mistaken.
We faced them.
Or is it not? Oh, we face him in the 8th week. You know who we're versing now, Coop?
I'd have to go check, but
Op 4 is located a bomb. Get ready.
Yeah, I can go ahead and check the Discord. I can go check it.
I need to get out of here. Anyone have his gamer tag? Get him back in here. Okay, it took us a moment to shut up.
Sadly, I don't know Trix's gamer tag. I might have him actually added on here. Give me 1 second. Let me check.
I mean, I'm kind of just being lazy. And really, I should be doing it because I'm Echo. So.
Yeah, I actually got Trix right here. Actually, I think.
Okay.
1 second.
poor kid.
We have some very.
There he is. What's going on,
Hey,
Trix?
Trix, how's it going?
Hello, chicks.
That's the famous question. You got a mic, bro?
He's on the Xbox app, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I don't know if he's having connectivity issues or what.
Hopefully not. Oh, he's still connecting, yeah. Oh, there he is. Trix, can you hear us?
He's that long desk.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just not talking right now. He is connected into the party though.
Thought I saw. It says he's connected. Just, Damn.
Having technical difficulties with tricks.
See if we can get him in here one more time.
Op
Yeah,
4,
shoot him one more
last
invite. Give me
operator
a second.
standing. Friendly's victorious. Hostiles eliminated.
Oh no,
Alright, I'm gonna try to find him one more time.
seems to be having
If
activity
yeah.
issues.
Unfortunate. If he can't join, that'll be unfortunate. But we got other stuff to talk about. We'll move on.
Let me try one more time.
Yeah, just send him an invite.
Trick. Invite him, and then so I can invite him easier.
Protect the bombs. Op 4 has located a bomb. Plan your defenses accordingly.
Sweet ass, grabbed us a drone direct.
Oh yeah, got us a drone. I don't know how good my Australian accent is, but
Camera ready.
don't worry, that wasn't me trying.
Efficiency scores. That's a drone.
Down to 10 seconds.
I do impressions of certain operators, but I don't think I'm ready for that level of embarrassment. That's when we start losing views and I
Op
get
4 has
desperate.
located a bomb.
That's only.
That's when people start clipping.
You know how funny it would be if I did my horrible impressions and then people like clipped it and put it over their gameplay.
Oh god.
Reloading. Cover me.
That'd be frightening.
Yeah, so I got a question. So how often are these podcasts going to be? Is there like an actual fixed schedule? Is it like once a week? Or how
Well,
do
if
you guys have it planned out at all, or?
Well, we only have it planned out so far on a session to session basis. So just when we have a time for it in mind, that's when we start planning. But
Okay.
if people don't start casting these damn games, we're not going to be able to have that many episodes, at least that many meaningful episodes, because.
And what goes on with the
it's pretty
casting, by the way? Like what
Well,
like what,
it's-
yeah. So what goes on with it? So is it just tough to find people, or just people aren't willing to volunteer?
Yeah, Infamous just he posts games to cast in the like the section where people look to do that, and we just haven't had anyone lately. We used to have some people that would do it, but it's mainly been me and like Dobie. I think the only people casting.
Really? Huh.
Frustrating.
Mission
I
failed.
wonder
All
I wonder
friendlies
what
were
could
eliminated.
be a potential grab to bring in people. I mean, obviously besides money.
Yeah, we just need people to volunteer and cast so that way, because it kind of
Absolutely.
becomes at that point it might be a boring one-man show if it's just like me casting and then I host the podcast and it's like I'm commentating over my commentary.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. No, I totally understand. I mean, it's awesome enough that you're volunteering your time to cast the matches as well. I mean, it's a lot. It honestly is a
What time
lot of work.
the Dark Vortex game?
The Dark Vortex game is at 8 o'clock, so that is 16 minutes from now.
Okay.
Yeah, if we had a caster, we could maybe watch that live, and extend some time a little bit. But
You're talking to him.
Yeah,
You're
he'll be
talking to him.
yeah he'll be
I'm
casting the
that
match.
game.
Secure the area.
oh
Keep the
wait,
bomb
who is
protected.
outdated?
Dated, yeah.
Yeah, updated is yeah.
Oh,
Op 4 located a bomb. Protect it.
It's like, and I think for ZH22, their league. I wonder what it's like for them as well for casting. I don't know. I wonder if it's just an overall shortage of people that are willing to cast, or it's simply that we haven't reached out. Maybe we just haven't reached out enough for other casters. I don't know if Infamous has put out a like the Infamous League. Their official Twitter's put out anybody for they're looking for casters.
10
But-
seconds remaining.
yeah.
It's nice to get the opportunity of people to actually cast the matches though on their actual Twitch.
5 seconds left.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
And I mean, it's a pretty decent incentive anyways,
Bomb
because
located by
people
Op
get
4.
their channels shouted out, and you can,
You can get a few followers.
yeah. Okay, so someone said, Trick said invite him back. He had to steal his brother's mic.
Okay.
It's got here.
Yeah, I got it. I
See,
can shoot invite. I gotcha.
Dex, how old are you, by the way? Your voice sounds very manly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm 21 years old.
Enemy scan inbound. Starting your timer.
I'm 20, almost 20. What's up, Trix? How you doing?
Exposed you.
What's up,
Very
Trix?
good, friend.
What's
Hello,
happening,
Trix.
brother?
Loading mag!
Ouch. Hey, can you put the mic a little closer to your mouth hole, the word hole? Yeah, that's much better. Thank you. Let me know if I need to do the same as well, 'cause my mic's been fucking trashed as well.
Got one!
I'm gonna take a risk. But so Trix, what's your team and what
Four
division
remaining.
are you in?
Good night.
What place are you in?
Op 4 eliminated. Mission
7th as
successful.
well. How difficult has that been for you and your team, honestly? It must have been at least really frustrating.
Awesome.
That's good. Is this your first league coming in? You guys were? I'm sorry. Jeez, fuck me. Being ignorant.
Oh, yo, people
Yeah,
in the chat, people in the chat say they actually can't hear Trix. Trix, did you click on the
Oh.
box by any chance?
Yeah,
For the audio?
you gotta include your audio.
Oh, okay. I'm only saying that because
I don't know.
You see,
all I know is a good
I
guy,
can't
a guy in the
hear.
a guy in the chat says we can't hear Trix.
yeah, I can't see my Twitch chat, so I told everyone to go to the podcast chat in the Discord. But if you guys are monitoring chat, that works.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm monitoring
I have
right
my
now.
phone up.
I'm in the Twitch chat right now. Yeah.
I have it up on my phone.
Check.
Check.
Drone
Check.
has located a bomb.
No, mine.
I always,
is.
for some reason, I hated that. I don't know why. I always thought it was like the corniest thing ever. My dad would do that all the time because he was into radio and stuff like that.
Oh,
and
really?
Whenever he'd do that, yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh my god, I don't know what it was. I'm just like, Dad, stop. You're not a pilot.
That's funny. Yeah, so
but yeah.
people just weren't taking you serious, Tricks? Like the players that were joining on the team, they just what were they just like? They were just absent when you guys needed them for matches? Was that really what it was?
Sending Gemini! Drone's up and running.
Quiet before the storm.
Enemy interference!
Approaches a go.
Frag grenade out.
Oh boy. That's problematic. Jesus.
1 op 4 remaining.
Wow. Oh yes, it was a while in there.
Is
Jeez.
active, protected at all costs.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I actually watched that. Game. That was an awesome game to watch. That was really cool. Especially since you had ZH22 Delia. I know I believe one of the players, Genova, wound up actually putting out a tweet saying everything's all the leagues are just easy money for their team. And I mean oh yeah, I saw. I think it was Plexio's. I think Yeah.
Down to 1.
Yeah, that was awesome that they won though. Seriously, good for them. Good for you, if anything, too. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is my only
Bomb
my second
defused.
season
Mission
for
successful.
my team being in this league, so I definitely did not check if you were previous champ or not. And plus, I woke up 30 minutes ago from a nap, so don't hold that against me.
Oh, Trix, also, can you add me to the Dark Vortex chat? I'm casting the game tonight. I'm casting the Dark Vortex game tonight. Just need to be added to the chat.
So Trix, when it comes to the upcoming weeks you guys have, is there any strengths or any advantages you might have over the other teams in terms of your roster or your strategy that you think you have? You're that confident?
Need to use your drone to locate a bomb. Be advised your drone has located a bomb.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of teams struggling lately, and hopefully we can see a resurgence in some more aggressive competition from the lower teams, because then
Drone has
when you have the
located a
lower
bomb.
teams that are actually doing really well competing between each other, you really never know who's going to get the advantage over you, and that makes for a lot more interesting dynamic instead of just knowing that, oh, these 2-3 teams are our only threat, you know, and that might get boring with some viewers.
Proceed to bomb's location and defuse it.
So like that. Everyone, go watch that, please. Like I said.
So I think what I'm hearing is a possible win for Infamous. That's awesome, man. That's cool. I got a question
I got
for you.
Bandit.
Regarding this whole entire Infamous League, are you guys looking to get even bigger than you are now for next season? If you can possibly get more teams. Oh, okay. I gotcha. I've always had that confused. 32, so, dude, yeah, that's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of work, man.
Op 4 last stop standing.
So,
Bomb diffusion initiated. Protect the diffuser.
oh yeah, absolutely. That's, I mean, that's a crazy amount. Absolutely, dude. I mean, down to the admins, though. I mean, that's amazing that you have people that are willing to volunteer, you know, their time and really help out with that. I mean, that's it's absolutely amazing, honestly, man, to find people like that. All your admins are great people.
I'm leaving like right now. I'm leaving the bathroom, get everything set up. Alright.
Perfect, I got Dex here to keep me company.
Yeah. I should all come watch it. Be
Yeah, alright, well. Good luck with your casting. Try and
top 8
keep up
quality.
with the action.
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Good luck, Coop.
Alright.
So,
Yeah, man, I was gonna say that's
my-
amazing. 48 teams.
My
wow.
final question for you is, what is it like to have won the past season? Is it, you know, just something that you guys were expecting, or was it really a good team bonding experience to win? Mhm. Mhm. Hmm. Uh, yeah.
That's awesome. That's funny. That's really cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, once again, thank you for coming on, and once again, congratulations last season, and hopefully you can make it a streak of 2. We'll see what your team can do now. Send a message. Definitely. All right, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Have a good rest of the day.
Yeah, that's all you, Drix. Have a nice night, man.
All right. So definitely some interesting people we had on for sure.
Secure the area.
Oh, yeah,
We are
absolutely.
on to the drone phase segment. We're gonna have some hot topic questions. If anyone in Twitch chat wants to ask a question about the league or about the podcast or anything, even the game in general, now is your time to do so while we continue on with this pretty mediocre gameplay.
Yeah, man, I hope this gets bigger because this is actually really cool, man. I mean, if we can get even more people to come on, like have a lineup of like 10 people, man, you know, and just like people just keep coming in. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's just It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I think I was watching my numbers. We didn't do too bad. We had 4 or 5 people in at one time for a decent amount of time. And then activity's kind of quieting down now. It doesn't bother me. But,
Oh, yeah,
as long as we
absolutely.
keep up stuff that's interesting, people will obviously want to come in if it's interesting.
I'm with you on that.
I'm reloading.
And
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
hyped.
Are
I'm
you,
hyped for this season.
Yeah. Do you have your Twitch chat pulled up?
Yes, I do.
Got anyone talking in there?
Not as we speak now.
So OCD about parking my mousy drones. To get them somewhere useful.
Gotta get them pre-planted. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
It's so much work. Oh shit! Amara's in. I got it.
Communications like key.
Chaka.
I have the bottom of West Garage door actually blown out. It's bottom left-hand side. Just your standard peek up the catwalk.
9 or 9 or 2. Person? Oh, that's a person. I got her too.
Reloading.
I potato guys run so hard, and I don't.
That's a
I
note.
think it may have just been a coincidence, but
Except in Master.
I just did the last round. And as soon as that round was over, I saw 2 people leave stream, and I was like, I really hope that was coincidence.
That was coincidental, yeah.
Trying to seem all pro. I'm flicking and leaning everywhere. Please stay and watch. I'm acting pro.
Yeah, man, I'm hyped. You know, I was also thinking for the Infamous League too. I will say there's quite a big skill differential though between some of the teams. I mean, there's some teams that we've versed. You know, we're a 5-man champ stack and we're versing, plat 3s, or we're versing golds. I think we even versed a team that had a few silvers in it. And I mean, I feel like that's one of the reasons why those teams are losing is it's a crazy skill gap. Those are players that still need to learn the game. They need more map knowledge. They just need more play time. To have those scenarios where you need to win that clutch, or you just they didn't know maybe that vertical angle or that hole that you could make through the ceiling.
Yeah, I mean, you guys do that on purpose, just so you can so you can stomp people.
Yeah.
Get a 5-man champ team. You sick bastard.
Yeah.
Also,
I
what
think
we're
this is
confirming
one
here
of
is
the most
it's true.
competitive leagues. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, it
abuses
is.
lower level players. Confirmed. You heard it here first.
We can't control who we verse, but this is true.
A funny story too is I think early on, it was either this season or last season, we were missing a player on my team, and what we had thought would happen was this other team, I forgot who it was. They had the number 8th champ on their team. I was like, oh, how convenient is that? And they added him literally on the deadline that Infamous usually gives. And I was like, okay, we're missing a guy, and our roster's kind of isn't together right now. So let me just add a champ. And we tried to get like the number 20th or something that someone knew. I was like, okay, we could play that game. And then Infamous said we had broken the rules and forfeited a game. Then I was
really?
Like,
Oh, shit.
yeah, that's unfortunate. It turns out that guy was on their roster.
Oh, gotcha.
A few days earlier, actually, was already originally on there, and we missed the deadline, and we didn't even ask the other team if we could add someone last second, so that was bad on our part. But I definitely feel like there's a few teams that just try and get high-level champs to try and get an edge, which I guess you can do that, but
yeah,
in my opinion, it's kind of scummy.
I think that only goes as far, it can only go so far though. I mean, like, you need the team chemistry, you need the team callouts, like our team, for example, we actually have certain areas with their own names. I mean, just for example, you know how they came up with the name of Harry Potter for beneath staircases and stuff? Like, that's just a made-up term, you can call that bottom stairwell, you can call that whatever. That's just a made-up term, but we have our own made-up terms and stuff, and you can't just, you can pick up random champions because they have good gun skill, right? You're not just champ because, you're champ is because you're actually a pretty good player. You're an individually skilled player, but at a certain point, it comes down to the team chemistry, the call-outs, and then the teamwork. You can't just let gun skill carry you to victory, especially in a competitive match. It can happen in ranked, though, definitely. I mean, you see with all these MK players that are just swarming in ranked as 5-man stacks. I mean, the gun skill is atrocious. It's crazy how insane they are. But when it comes to comp, no, it's not how it works.
Probably the most nerve-wracking part of this stream for me is shooting drones. I know everyone's so judgmental.
Oh yeah, no, I got you.
But
Shooting drones. I can't stand when they drive to your feet. And you look down and just yeah.
I've had some pretty horrible moments trying to shoot. Oh my god, I'm gonna get shot through this. Stop it. Is there anything you that you are OCD about in this game? Like for me, it's always oh my god, it's always getting down my fusion mines as quickly as possible that I get them.
Anything that I have OCD is when I'm in a clutch situation, I want the most pristine comms there could possibly be, and I want the most trustworthy callouts. I don't want any inaccuracies. Obviously, there's going to be some here and there, but the worst thing is to have a non-trustworthy callout. My God, is that horrible? You know, imagine like I've had scenarios where I'm in a 1v3 and I bring it down to a 1v1 and I'll get a poor callout. And ever since then, I've been like a train wreck. I gotta always make sure I have good comms. So that's my pet peeve, man, is like having good communication. Sitting in the bathroom. Tomorrow.
I have a lot of stuff that I like. One thing I always tell my team is if you're like, if you're gonna play Legion, please just there's no point to waiting to get the gadget down unless like you're about to, you're about to go into a gunfight. When someone dies with 2 or 3 Legion mines in their inventory, it's like why?
Yep, you know, well yeah, you're supposed to use your operator, you know, you're supposed to use the utility. If you're not using the utility from the operator and you die, you failed the round. You yourself failed the round as well as you failed as your team. You need to use your ops utility.
Put it somewhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then one thing I've noticed with some of my friends, I won't name names, but some of my friends cannot play Nomad for their life. They will put either the thing too high, or they'll put it too far, or they'll put it in a place where it could be shot, and it's like, it just takes a half extra second to get a better placement down.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's crazy how in this game, one small mistake can cost you a whole entire round. I mean, think about it. You could be in it could be in a 3v1 situation, right, where it's 3 of you versus 1 enemy, and you don't have your pre-planted drone in a certain spot, and you don't have any info where he's at. You have no drones, and the one drone that you do have is from a dead player, but his drone wasn't pre-planted in the proper spot, and he flanks and he kills all 3 of you. You know, it brings you to a 1v1.
Yeah.
And then the enemy wins it. I mean, that's detrimental. It's insane. But yeah, man, making mistakes in this game I feel like the team who wins is the team that makes the least amount of errors. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and they have to make their mistakes early on if they are gonna.
Oh, absolutely.
You got anything going on in Twitch chat? Anyone want to know anything?
No, not as we speak. I believe I'm the only one as we speak actually in here.
Oh, monitor check. Yeah. Alright, well then, I won't try. We'll move on to the final segment. I did want to recap over the last weekend that I wanted to make sure everyone had a good 4th of July weekend. If you're watching this after it gets posted, I hope everyone was able to go out and do something. You know, I know obviously certain states are now going back into quarantine for, you know, regardless of politics.
Massive outbreak.
Don't know why. Don't know why people are going back into quarantine. But I hope you had a good 4th of July season anyways. Did you do anything special?
Yeah, I actually went over to my grandmother's house. Obviously, we had to do our 6 feet distancing. We all wore masks and stuff. It's pretty awkward. I mean, obviously, nobody really wants to have a 4th of July where they have to do social distancing and keep their distance away from their family members. But no, it was good though. It was enjoyable. It was nice to see my family. I was happy to be with them, and I'm happy to still have them. You know, you never know when someone's gonna go, and you know, if it's nice to be close to your family and see them as often as you can. So yeah, it was an enjoyable 4th of July. But yourself?
Yeah, we went out to a pool, and, you know, standard stuff, watched some fireworks, ate some food. Did not barbecue, you know. And I'm a barbecue person, so it left me a little sad.
Oh, so you definitely missed it.
They're in dirt! Yeah, and to play this game, and play people who are, you know, this is a hero-based game, as they call it, you know, kind of like Overwatch and stuff like that. But there's real people that go out and operate like how, you know, we do in this game and make it possible for us to play video games, you know, in peace and stuff like that, and people sometimes take that for granted.
Oh, absolutely.
So we definitely want to thank anyone who has a family member in service or is in service. I know there's actually one guy on the team that my team's facing who's deployed in Italy. And that's very interesting.
We appreciate his service.
Can I jump over this?
4 remaining. 1 friendly
All right,
remaining.
well, I want to thank you to anyone who tuned in to watch. Once again, I hope you have a good 4th of July, and thank you if you have any family members in service. Dex, you got any closing statements for?
Anybody that tuned in, I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully we can continue this. I've had a blast talking to the people that I've been able to talk to. Trix, it was a pleasure talking, as well as Coop. I appreciate your time as well. With you actually coming in and being able to talk to us and spend your time. Everybody else, hope you guys had a happy 4th of July. We'll see you in the next.
All right, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the Breach and Clear podcast. Please keep an eye out for our next going live session. And once again, thank you for everyone for coming in.